Hello everyone, today we're going to be learning about try-catch statements in Java. Now what is a try-catch statement? It is something that you can wrap around a block of code that prevents it from crashing. So you can put this around a questionable block of code that is likely to crash your programs. And if it does happen to make an error, instead of crashing a whole program, what this try-catch statement does is it will catch the error and handle it the best way possible. So this would be how you write it. So you have your try and then your brackets and then this code that is likely to fail. And then if it does fail, it'll go into the catch statement and it will do whatever you write in there. Now the exception E is the exceptions, is the error, the type of error. And there's many different types of errors such as IO exceptions, file not found exceptions, and number format exceptions. Alright, so let's give try-catch statements a try. So we can hop into Eclipse, and in the past project we created, we could create a new class in there, and we could just name that try-catch. And we're also gonna need this public static void main method. Now we can press finish, and we should already have the main method created for us. Now, in order to test this, we need a shady bit of code or a questionable bit of code. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna try to convert a string to an integer, and that obviously isn't gonna work sometimes because a string's gonna be like hello, and that's not integer obviously. So we're gonna create that, and it's gonna work because of try catch. So we're gonna have a string, and I'm just gonna name that value is equal to, I'm just gonna say 54. And in order to in order to cast it into a integer, what we have to do is say integer, and this is calling the object integer dot parse int, and then you input your string here, value, and that should give you an integer value. Now, if we run this, we're gonna get no output because we're actually outputting nothing. So, if we try just creating an integer actually, so int example, I'm just giving random names here, is equal to that, and then I'm just gonna print out example. Now if we get this, we should get 54, right? So if I run this, exactly, I should get 54. However, if it was not an integer, say it was hello world, what this would be is it would get an error because you can't make it an integer because it's not an integer. So if you run this, we get a huge error and we actually don't get this print statement right here. So that's not good and we don't want that. So let's try building a try-catch statement. So we could say try up here, and this is essentially our shady line of code that is not always gonna work. So that's why we need to surround it with try catch. So, and then we can have our catch statement here, and then this is gonna be a number format exception. And this is a number format exception because you're casting into a number and it might not be a number. And then here we could say, we could print out value, sorry, brackets, actually value is not a integer. If it is an integer, we'd come up here and we could just print out example. Then example plus is a integer. Now if we try this, we should get hello world is an integer. Is not an integer, sorry. I read that wrong. And that is true. So basically what it's doing here is it's trying to make hello world into an integer. However, it cannot. So it's gonna cause an error. It's gonna throw an error. However, this catch statement is gonna catch that error and it's gonna run this block of code right here. So this is very useful. Now, what if this was, say, 67.98? Now this shouldn't work either because 67 and 98, 67.98 shouldn't be an integer. It's actually a double because it contains a decimal. So if we run this, we should also get it is not an integer. that is exactly what we get. It is not an integer. Now if you want to check if it's a double, we could do double, and this is calling the object double dot parse double. Now here, yes, we need to also make this a double. Now notice how this is a lowercase and this is an uppercase double. This is because this is the object double. You gotta remember that. So if we run this, we should get, actually let's change here to double and double. Now if you run this, we should get 67.98 is a double, and that in fact is true. Now this is basically the basics for try-catch statements, and if you like this video, please consider giving a like, and thanks for watching.